Hi everyone, Emily Chow here from Chow Communications. Thank you so much for joining me again for part 4 of how to interpret your Google Analytics data. So let's actually hop over to what you see when you land on the first page of your Google Analytics tool. If you look on the left side, you'll notice that there is a navigation bar. This is called your Visitors Overview section. This section of Google Analytics actually gives you a snapshot on the behaviors, habits, and profile of your target market. You'll be able to see what language they speak, what part of the country they're from, and what browsers they're viewing you on, as well as what mobile device they may be potentially viewing you on as well. Beware flash-dependent sites. You cannot be viewed on an iPhone, so always make sure that your sites are mobile-friendly or that they have functionalities that allow them to be optimal for mobile viewing. If you actually haven't gotten a website done yet or are thinking about redoing your website, my advice to you is to go with a responsive theme. My friends and colleagues over at Vancouver Web Design HQ got me hooked on them, and I am not looking back. So basically, a responsive theme is smart in that it will adjust its proportions depending on the kind of device that your viewers are looking at you on. Some of the things that we'll also be discussing here are your visitors flow, which is the third star on the screen over here. This is a really powerful tool of Google Analytics because you'll actually be able to see the pathway of your user through your site. You'll be able to see where they're dropping off, potentially glean information as to why they're dropping off and why they're not completing the action that you want them to complete when online. Another great thing about Google Analytics is that it also measures engagement. So if you look here at the number of unique visitors and page visits, of course the higher number of visits would be great, but I do have one client who only gets 1.5 views or 1.5 pages per visit. But this isn't necessarily a bad thing because when she looked at her conversion rate, her sales were up because it looks like the main pages that people were visiting were either the contact page and or the services page. Both of those pages have clear calls to actions on them, and people could either call you, email you, or put in a quote submission form request. So these are all different things that increased as soon as her site went up. So just because she had 1.5 pages per visit doesn't mean that she's not getting conversion out of it. She actually got extremely high conversion to some of my clients who get 10 pages per visit. Something to think about. Another thing that is also really interesting to have a look at here are the dips and spikes. Dips and spikes aren't necessarily a bad thing. What you want to look at is why you're having those dips and why you're having those spikes. Did you recently put out a new page of content on your website? Did you add a new service? Did you add a new product and you advertised it? Potentially could be you putting out a new video and it's driving people back to your website, or you put out a new blog post and you were promoting it. Could also be trade shows, speaking engagement. All these different things could be reasons why you may have spikes and why you might have dips in terms of your Google Analytics readings. So next time we're actually going to go further into visitors flow, which again is my favorite part of Google Analytics. And so I urge you to stay tuned for the next webinar if you want more free tips and tricks on how you can really optimize your online presence and measure your performance online. Email me for any questions at emily@chowcommunications.ca. Drop me a line on Facebook and Twitter, or visit me at my website at chowcommunications.ca. Until next time, thanks so much for joining me.